Hi EDU 259, welcome to week 15 of class. I wanted to do a quick video overview of the lesson plan project because we did speak about it in class last Tuesday, but I just want to be sure that we're all on the same page and everybody understands what needs to be submitted. You have been doing checkpoints throughout the semester where you submit bits and pieces of the project for my review and feedback. But now it is time to submit the final project. So you will be going back through the checkpoints that you submitted and making the suggested changes and modifications. Please reach out if you have questions about any of that, but you need to submit the project in each step as it is outlined. So step 1 is beginning the project. You would submit each component of this that's outlined in points A through F. Step 2 is about creating a web. You need to go back and look at the feedback from the web you submitted in the checkpoint and submit also your finished web. And then you notice special instructions here for steps 3 through 5. You want to submit your interest area and classroom environment, child-directed activity ideas. In step 3, in step 4, you're submitting your large group, circle, and teacher-directed activities. And in step 5, you're submitting your small group and teacher-directed activities. Step 6 is the final 2-week plan where you're going to plug all of those components into your 2-week plan. We talked about in class to think about the natural progression of how you would teach children about the topic. And so your first week would be more introducing different components, and your second week would get more in depth into the topic and more specific. So don't just plug things into the 2-week lesson plan haphazardly. Think about the natural progression and how you would introduce the topic and carry it throughout the 2 weeks, and what different components you would talk about at different times. So what is submitted in the 2-week lesson plan are these different components, these activities that you've planned throughout the semester. Your checkpoints alone are not sufficient for submitting this. You need to go back and revisit them just as I have told you throughout the semester, and make sure you submit everything that's listed, because the checkpoints also did not cover every activity that needed to be included in the final lesson plan project. So follow these instructions carefully and submit them in the order that it is assigned here, whereas throughout the semester in your checkpoints, we looked at things like literacy and math and science, and you submitted those types of activities together. Now you're going back and organizing it into interest areas in the classroom environment, and child-directed activities would be submitted in step 3. Your large group, circle, and teacher-directed activities would be submitted in step 4, and step 5, small group and teacher-directed. So you may have to go back and reorganize some of the things that you are submitting so that it can easily fit into these categories. Your final step is step 7, your final reflection. It should be 2 to 3 paragraphs for each of these prompts. So that means that you would have probably a 2 to 3 page reflection paper. If you have any questions about this, I'm in the office all week. I'm glad to speak with you about it. Just make sure you don't just submit your checkpoints. You go back and look at this assignment in detail before submitting your final project, and reach out if you need help. I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you soon.